For our tourism product development case study, we chose the Philippines, which consists of over 7,000 islands. It is blessed with paradise beaches, emerald rice fields, unusual animals, towering cities, and happy-go-lucky people. Formerly, the country was able to depend on their naturally beautiful landscapes for tourism. However, now the Department of Tourism, which we will call the DOT, recognizes that they cannot continue to do this and has moved to an investment-driven strategy, which they introduced in their Natural Tourism Development Plan of 2016 to 2022. The plan has 4 main objectives: sustainability, growth, enhanced competitiveness, and inclusiveness.
Marketing and branding are a vital component to the DOT's plan. Their marketing goal is to promote Philippines as a destination that has emerging eco-friendly and sustainable tourism products. Recognized in their 2016-2020 plan, they are focusing on these 12 major countries. Also, from their 2016 to 2017 results, Chinese tourist arrival went up to 43.3%, which was pretty high, proving that this is a significant market for Philippines to focus on. The DOT are also building sustainability workshops for industry professionals all over the country. This is to ensure that local tourism companies are representing their sustainable image that the DOT wants to share and not doing something different. Along with this, they started the slogan campaign, "It's more fun in Philippines," in 2012, and it has been very successful this far. The DOT also runs parallel digital campaigns to promote the less visited and up-and-coming destination. These campaigns are aimed to entice more travelers to visit different destinations than the already popular tourism islands. The DOT's promotion unit also conducts FAM or familiarization programs for international and local influential tourism individuals in order to create awareness, goodwill, and publicity for the country.
Now moving on to their actual process of tourism product development. It's called the Tourism Enterprise Zone Model, or TEZ for short. This model is a cluster approach, which means they are focusing on specific destinations to develop rather than spreading resources among 7,000 plus islands. So there are currently 20 tourism clusters, of which 9 are gateway clusters, which means these ones have international airports. These clusters have themes, which allows the DOT to base the tourism product development there around, and also helps them market these areas better. Within the 20 clusters, there are 49 development areas. It is in these areas that they are focusing on 3 main investment initiatives. One being transport infrastructure development, the second being improvement of travel facilitation, and lastly, enhancing tourism investments and the business environment. Under transport infrastructure development, which the DOT has recognized as their primary focus leading up to 2022, are hefty investments in airports, roads, and boatport construction. To put the transport issue into perspective, airports in the Philippines have been operating significantly above capacity for a number of years, which has been severely limiting their tourism growth. The new government recognizes the problem, however, and now has announced that investments in airports and roads alone will amount to about 55 billion pesos, which takes up about 99.6% of the National Tourism Development Plan's budget. Regarding travel facilitation, they are working on improving visa and border initiatives, as well as improving the release of permits, certifications, and TEZ documents to locals and shareholders. An example of how they are doing this is that they initiated a 6-month medical visa to advertise the Philippines as a medical wellness travel destination. This is a way that the Philippines is positioning itself as a leader in the field of medical tourism. In terms of the tourism investments and business environment investments, DOT is planning on investing in the improvement of heritage sites, recreational estates, and national parks. As well as these, they are planning on working with private sector tourism companies such as resort estates, hotels, and attractions. Main product offerings that they want to develop and enhance are scuba diving, yacht chartering, and hiking trails. The DOT plans to expand the number of cultural offerings to widen their menu of tourism products. This is to try and preserve the existing major tourist sites whilst making the financial benefits of tourism available to other smaller local communities. The DOT also wants to enhance and elevate the service skills among tourism practitioners and are doing this through training and language seminars.
So that explains the TEZ cluster model, which is part of the larger investment-driven strategy in the Philippines.
The TEZ model is operationalized through a separate government corporation called the Tourism Infrastructure and Enterprise Zone Authority, or TIEZA for short. They act as an implementation arm of the DOT, regulating and supervising the tourism zones. They are also responsible for marketing to and managing private stakeholders to be shared partners in the tourism development.
The DOT and TIEZA have made their goals extremely clear for the product development process in this country, but is it working? Well, in December, it was announced that the 2018 international tourism arrivals totaled 7.2 million, which was short of the 7.4 million target. Although this seems negative, popular islands that have been closed for improvements and airports that have been going through construction during 2018 are reopened now, meaning that the tourism outlook for 2019 is far more positive. Total tourism revenue in the Philippines was 2.42 trillion pesos in 2016 and has continued to have a 20% annual growth. From 2016 to 2017, tourism grew from 8.6% to 12.2% of the GDP. One very interesting result of the tourism development process is that the number of domestic tourists have already surpassed the 2022 target of 86.2 million, 4 years ahead of schedule. We can see from this that Filipinos are finding it easier and more desirable to travel within their own borders. This is definitely an accomplishment for the DOT, as proud locals will ultimately help bring in international tourists. The tourism industry also employs 5.3 million Filipinos in 2017, displaying a 4% annual growth, which is a good sign. As we can see, the DOT and TIEZA are mostly using quantitative measurements to rate their success. After researching all about the tourism plan in the Philippines, we were extremely impressed with how the country has developed as a whole. The Philippines has never before been very concerned with their ecological footprint or waste disposal, but with this new investment-driven strategy, they are recognizing this as a primary issue. As well as this, the country is recognizing the importance of gender equality, which hasn't always been the mindset of many South Asian countries, so it's inspiring to see them tackling the worldwide issue. As a group, we believe strongly that with the tourism development comes an environmental and social responsibility to our planet, and the Philippines is demonstrating this. Mostly, we were impressed by the TEZ model, by the DOT and TIEZA recognizing and labeling specific TEZ locations for tourism development. This gives an incentive for private stakeholders and governments to invest in these areas, again improving the tourism products in these destinations. Much like how designating UNESCO sites or the wonders of the world brings awareness and protection to these places, labeling TEZ clusters can do the same for the locations in the Philippines. With its improving connectivity and infrastructure, as well as its very hands-on government, the Philippines is expected to see tourism grow and improve significantly in the years to come. We are impressed with how transparent the Department of Tourism has been in sharing their goals and plans. They recognize that investments in airports, roads, and sustainability initiatives are crucial for their tourism success, and we agree.
I'm Chala Camille. I grew up in Cavite. It's like in the Luzon part of the Philippines.
What tourism products do you want to see developed within the Philippines?
I think if ever there's gonna be improvements, I want something in the land areas, like the heritages and national parks, because I think that's like less right now. I want to see more on improving our indigenous side. Like we have ITAs and like here you have the First Nations, and I can see that you guys are trying to promote that. But in my country, it's not that promoted that much. So other than the water parks and the beaches and the water areas, I want something that will improve our land areas.